Hey, I'm Eddie Spaghetti from the greatest rock and roll band in the world, the SUPERSUCKERS.
Excellent. Great to have you here. How excited are you all to be gracing our shores after your last tour here had multiple sellout shows?
Yeah, we're excited to go back. I love going to Australia. I always have. I'm excited to wear my shorts and my flip flops and just be in the sunshine and summertime there, right? So we're excited about
It's
that.
really hot.
That's what we hear. Yeah.
Is there anywhere you're planning on going or sites you want to see in your downtime whilst you're here?
I don't know. What's downtime?
Exactly. Good question.
I've heard of it. I don't, so we don't see much of it. But yeah, if there's anything cool that we can do, we will do it. You know, if there's a koala to go hold or a kangaroo to go pet or something like that, we love to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, lovely. Why do you think you guys have such a big audience here?
I don't know. I think it should be bigger.
Yeah.
I think that as good as our band is and has always been, it should be a lot bigger. But I do appreciate the. I don't know. There's something about the energy of Australia that agrees with the Super Suckers. You know, we're popular in places that have like a reckless, rebellious sort of abandon to them, like Spain and Australia and Texas and California. These are big markets for whatever reason.
Yeah, definitely. I actually have relatives in Texas, and it always shocks me how alike the culture is in Texas to rural parts of Australia here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I think that plays a big part of why you guys are probably popular with the crowds here as well. Um, you guys have been joined by none other than Willie Nelson and Eddie Vedder on stage. Could you tell us what those pinch me moments were like and how they came to be?
Yeah, well, Willie Nelson was probably the greatest thing that I've ever got to be around, or be in that orbit. It is one of the greatest rewards that I've ever gotten from this rock and roll journey I've ever been on. And this band has given me everything. I'm literally, it's given me I met my wife through the band. I have my kids, everything, my whole family, everything is this band has given me. So, and this Willie Nelson gift is another great thing, because, you can't take that away. Once that happens, it's permanent. That really happened. And with Willie, we got introduced to him through a guy who was he was living in Tech. He was when we were recording our third record in Texas. We met some people down there, and that's how we kind of met Willie. And he came into our studio and recorded a song with us then, and that was one of the highlights of my life up to that moment. And then he asked us to do the Tonight Show with him, which was a real big thrill. And that's there's a whole crazy story about that in and of itself. So each one of these little moments have like all these great stories that would take me an hour to go through, but rest assured I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I can't even imagine. As a band, you guys have been through a hell of a lot throughout your 30 plus years together. What's kept the drive to keep going and keep putting music out, and why is it important to you to keep doing that?
I don't really know why it's important to me. I wish it wasn't, because it's really hard to make a living making music, but it's really the only skill I have anymore. And I'm way too old to pivot now. So I love making music so much. And I'm grateful for the fact that new songs come to me all the time. I'm always got one going right here, so it's just like, it's always, it's just what I do.
Yeah. And if you hadn't been in SuperSuckers, what do you think you'd be doing today?
Oh, if I wasn't making music, I don't know. I'd probably be doing something really boring, like being an English teacher, or
Wow.
something just scholarly and keep my soft hands.
Yeah.
No manual labor.
No. Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because I was just about to ask about your lyric writing process. and you said, you know, you'd probably be an English teacher. Some of the lyrics, when you read into them, they are actually deeper than what maybe comes out across when you hear them in the songs. What is the lyric writing process for you? Do you sit down and do you get inspiration from something, or?
Yeah, well, I've always been placed a lot of unnecessary importance on the lyrics, because for a song to be good, a rock and roll song to be good, the lyrics don't necessarily have to matter. You know, they don't. It doesn't necessarily have to mean something or be about anything. And some of the best songs aren't about anything, and I like that. But that's an art in and of itself to be able to do that. So I feel like when the lyrics are good, it's a bonus. It's extra, and I've always been about that. So yeah, I put a lot of effort into the lyrics, and I spend the most of my time is when I'm making up a song. The hardest and the most rewarding parts are the lyrics, because I just feel like, you know, I've got something to say for whatever reason. I don't know why. And it's, you know, it could be about nothing. And a lot of times the best songs, like I said, are about nothing. But I still want the lyrics to be clever and pop, you know?
Yeah, definitely. What are your thoughts on country and rock and roll today?
Well, I love them both. I like country music and I love rock and roll. And I'm saddened by the state of popular music. Always. Popular rock and roll and popular country, for the most part, are terrible anymore. And I think that's just because people are idiots and they just don't know what they want, and they'll just take whatever they get and they'll just pretend like they like it. So when you give them something that challenges them, like the SUPERSUCKERS, or, you know, some art that's actually quality, it's not going to be for everybody, unfortunately. I wish it was. I don't go out of my way to make up songs that are for just a few people, but they are, turns out, just for a few people. I don't know why that is. But, you know, I like, there's country artists today that are current that I like. And there's rock and roll artists today that are current that I like. They're not popular. They're not on the radio, but they're better. It's because they're better.
Yeah.
They're too good for you people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that leads me to my next question. Is there any artists that you're listening to at the moment that you love that may be a surprise to your audience, given the music that you make?
I don't know if it'd be a surprise, but there are a couple bands that I've really been into lately. One of them is called Seven Horse. And I don't know much about them, but I know that every record they've put out is amazing. And I think they put out like 5 of them so far. So they're great. And this band from Sweden called the Royal Republic, who are just like doctors of rock and roll. I mean, everything they do is just on fire. I love everything about it. So check those 2 guys out.
Yeah, I'll have to. That's awesome. Can you tell us a bit about how SUPERSUCKERS really cemented or gave rise to the genre of alt country?
Yeah, that was an accident. I mean, it was just because I wanted to make a country record. After we made a record for Sub Pop in the 90s called Sacrilegious. That was supposed to be a big record. It was supposed to, you know, be our big popular thing. It was make us happen like Green Day or something, you know, like we were going to be big. And it didn't work. So I was very disillusioned and I wanted to make a country record. I don't know why. I just felt like I was going to do that. And I was going to do it on my own as a solo artist. But then I started making up the songs, and the only guys I knew to play with were the guys in the band. So it became a SUPERSUCKERS record. And when it came out, it was not well received. It was, you know, our fans didn't know what to make of it, obviously, because it came out of left field. And we toured on it, and the crowds were like booing us, and it was pretty hard actually to go through that. But then something happened, and it became like this pivotal recording for like rock and rollers to see how cool country music is. And that wasn't my intention, but I'm glad it happened. And so now that I think that record is probably our best selling record. And it's given us a whole, I think it's taken the expiration date off the band. Like now we can legitimately do this into our 70s and 80s even if we want to, because we made that record.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a pivotal point, and it is, I think, genre defining, and how you've mixed those two. And yeah, I think it really is a pivotal point in your career, in the career, the history of music as well. Say there's someone out there thinking about going to one of your shows. What can they expect at a Super Suckers show?
Well, they should come prepared. They should make sure they're wearing clean undergarments, because we're going to rock their pants right off of them. No. that's how we do. Yeah, it's should be a balls out rock and roll show, you know.
Yeah, awesome. Have you seen that pit diaper that people can get, where when they're in the mosh, and it's like a diaper they can wear so they don't have to wee or poop when they're moshing along?
I know they have them for like sporting events. You know, like if you're at a game and you don't want to get up and go to the bathroom, you have like this diaper sort of a thing, or some sort of a catheter. I don't know what it is. It just sounds awful.
Yeah.
Just get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, just go to the, okay. There's been a couple of times when you guys haven't been able to tour an album. What was that like for you and the band?
It's very frustrating. The first time it happened when I got cancer, and then it happened again when COVID came out. Both times we had just finished and just released a record when these events happen. So yeah, it kills the whole momentum, and it screws up my process, because my process is to make up the songs, go out, play the songs, get tired of those songs, and want to make up new ones. And when your process gets interrupted, your whole flow gets out of whack. And I feel like I'm just recovering from that.
Yeah, it must feel nice to be able to finally properly tour, and again, after having those incidences of not being able to.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to your Australian fans?
Multiply. Make more of you.
We're going to try and make that happen.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Tickets are on sale now for the Super Suckers tour with Nashville Pussy, kicking off in January next year. Eddie, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Yeah, thanks for helping us spread the word. I appreciate it.